It's official! I am out of ideas! And if you just spend 50 minutes talking about space, you would be too. So, naturally, every time I'm creatively dry, I let pure luck and no skill make decisions for me. No. Let's see what we're talking about today. Well, guess I'm talking about the L button today. Son of a bitch. The humble video game controller. You never see these things bragging about how important they are. Most of the time. Back when arcades ran supreme, they could make their control scheme whatever they wanted. Like a stick and buttons. Made that decision easy. Then game controllers went nuts and became phones, because if Donkey Kong and ColecoVision didn't have 15 different input methods, the war would have been long ago. No human appendage could stop the bombs. And Coleco couldn't either. So, when Nintendo came to revive the home console market with this thing, they brought with it a new kind of controller, a plus sign and a colon. I think they designed this in paint. The NES controller is fine. They're all so old and worn out at this point that it's basically impossible to tell what they used to feel like. But it's got a serious problem. There's only 4 buttons, and essentially only 2 of them are accessible at a time. Of course, we could just add more face buttons, but there's eventually an upper limit to that. But look at the way we hold this controller! Look at those index fingers! This is the time for perfection, for innovation, for L! The Super Nintendo brought with it one of the greatest innovations in human history, second only to the concept of love. Look at this! Whew! So good! Featuring shoulder button for the first time, this controller added a wild amount of possibilities to gaming. Imagine a world where Super Mario World didn't have the L button. Cause I sure as hell can't. Meanwhile, Sega just slapped a 3rd button here and called it a day, no L to speak of. All of a sudden, the sales numbers make sense. So, naturally, Nintendo would go on to what? The N64 controller is a weird, fragile beast, but I've always liked the thing. Except for the fact its L button is useless! The D-pad may as well just not be here, considering a single-digit number of games use the damn thing. And instead we get this Z button. It's fine, but come on. 3 lines? 2 lines? Obviously superior. Thankfully, all it took was Nintendo's rival to bring back order and holy shit! 2 L buttons. 2 of them! The 4th greatest innovation in human history, to only the concept of breathing. The amount of buttons on display at any one time was now staggering. Though, I've always found myself confused about how I'm meant to hold controllers like this. Am I meant to use my index fingers for both buttons? My index and middle fingers? I only use my index fingers, but I don't think this has ever been made clear. Especially when things went further to, oh come on! Let's make something clear here. This is not an L button. These are, not this. This is, this isn't. An L3 on the analog stick? That doesn't count either. I will not stand for this L button erasure. 2 L buttons should be the standard. I won't fall for this analog crap. What do I look like? I enjoy Forza Motorsport 5 for the Xbox One? Brakes are for chumps anyways, right? Thank God Nintendo has stood strong with the Wii U and Nintendo Switch, keeping dual L buttons intact. Even PC gamers get to join in on the fun. Just think of everything the L button has done for you. Making Samus aim upwards, getting another line of blocks, holding blocks. Disappointing. Recentering the camera behind you, changing screen resolution. Seriously, what would we do without the L button? Can you imagine games like Mario Galaxy and Metroid Prime without the L button? What the L?